Hello YouTube, Pallab here, and Canon recently launched three of their brand new cameras, two DSLRs and one mirrorless. All of these are exciting, but then in this particular video we're going to talk about the most exciting update of them all. It's called the Canon 800D or Canon Rebel T7i, as it's known in the US. Now this is available in body only and with an 18 to 55mm lens, and the price of this is actually, when I checked the US Canon site, official site, body only wasn't available. Along with the 1855, this one cost about $900. In India, the body only is available and it's cost 57,000 Indian rupees, and with the 18 to 55mm lens it cost about 63,000. Compare that to the predecessor, the 750D, which cost about 50k for body only and around about 56-57k for, well, with the 18 to 55mm, $750 that is, with the 18 to 55mm in the US. So there is a price gap, as you can see when you talk about US $150, in India about 7,000. Is this worth? Absolutely, hands down. So if you're really in a hurry, if you do not want to watch the whole video, if you want to know whether you should actually buy the 800D over a 750D, forget about the 700D, then yes, you should just go ahead and 800D. If you want to know why, stick on. So what happens is that, as you know, the 800D being 3-letter is placed in the premium entry-level segment. They also announced another one called 77D. Do not mistake it for a successor or kind of a slightly toned down version of the 80D, but we'll come back to that in a separate video immediately after this. So 800D has many new upgrades over the 750D. Having said that, both the cameras, both 750D and the 800D, have 24.2 MP sensor, but that's where the similarity ends. In fact, the image processing engine is DZIC7. The sensor is the same, but because of that brand new image processing engine, the 750D has DZIC6. Because of DZIC7, your ISO range increases. So now the maximum native ISO range is 25,600, whereas with the 750D, it's only 12,800, and you had to bump up it, digitally, if you will, to 25,600. So yeah, ISO boost. And apart from that, the biggest change or the biggest upgrade in the 800D is perfect for the vloggers. Now the 800D has the dual CMOS autofocus system that you first got on the 70D and then got on the 80D, and it also is in the 77D. Now we don't know exactly if this is like kind of less effective and slower than that of the 80D. It might be because it's priced at much less, but it's much better than the hybrid autofocus systems than the 700D or those the older camera has. Dual autofocus CMOS sensor or CMOS autofocus system means that almost 100% of all the pixels on the sensors also has an autofocus point, which meaning that even during a movie, when your mirror is up, you can actually have a face detection autofocus system because of those autofocus points present on the sensor. And face detection autofocus point is much faster than the usual contrast detection autofocus points that you generally find on, let's say, the Nikon ones. Another main difference, huge difference from the 750D, is that the autofocus point itself, the number of them increased to 45 from only 19 on the 750D, and all of those 45 autofocus points are cross type. Even the 19 were cross type, but 45 points cross type covering most part of the screen is crazy. The burst speed also increased very slightly, not much though, 6 FPS to 5 FPS on the 750D, and also the 800D kind of becomes slightly smaller and lighter than the 750D, but you almost won't notice that. So even in the US and in India, this is in pre-order mode, and they're actually supposed to announce them during CP Plus, which happens around this time in Japan. And this, I think, is one of the most exciting upgrades that Canon has done over the years, over many years in the entry-level DSLR. Because for long I've had this complaint that Canon just does not add exciting new features on the entry-level. They just leave them, they probably sell them at a cheap price, but they're not much cheaper than competitors. But some of the competitors, like let's say Nikon, the Nikon 3300, it has got many features of the 5200 or even the 5300, but not, let's say, the 1300D. But now the 800D finally has many of the features that probably you'd see on the 70D or even the 80D. So it's finally is a blogger's dream DSLR, although we'll have to test it in the lab to see how that dual CMOS autofocus system works. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you.